Success is not something that happens overnight. The truth is, success is built day by day. I learned this lesson years ago, and it changed everything for me. You know what makes the difference between average people and extraordinary people? It is not talent, it is not luck, it is not even intelligence. The real difference comes down to what they do every single day. I want to share something with you that I wish someone had told me when I was starting out. I was 25 years old, broke, discouraged, and wondering why some people seem to have it all, while I was struggling just to pay my rent. Then my mentor said something that stuck with me forever. He said, "Jim, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." That statement hit me like a ton of bricks. You mean success is not some complicated formula? It is not about knowing the right people or having special advantages? No, success comes from doing a handful of smart things consistently, day after day. This idea transformed my thinking. I started asking myself, what are those few disciplines that could change everything? Over the years, I have identified 5 key areas that you absolutely must work on every single day if you want an extraordinary life. These 5 daily disciplines are not complicated, they are not hard to understand, but they do require something from you. They require commitment, they require consistency, they require that you show up and do them even when you do not feel like it, especially when you do not feel like it. I am talking about 5 areas of life that, if neglected, will surely lead to regret and disappointment, but if you tend to them daily like a garden, they will produce a harvest beyond your imagination. Now, I want to be clear about something. I am not promising you overnight results. That is not how life works. What I am promising you is that if you practice these 5 disciplines every day for the next 5 years, you will be among the top 5% of successful people in the world. And that is worth something, is it not? Let me ask you a question. Are you willing to pay the price for an extraordinary life? Because there is a price. There is always a price. And the price is daily discipline. The good news is anyone can pay this price if they choose to. The bad news is most people will not. So let me share with you the 5 things you must work on every day. These are the areas of life that demand your consistent attention. Miss even one of them for too long, and your life will be out of balance. Master all 5, and there is virtually no limit to what you can achieve. The first thing you must work on every day is your personal development. The first thing you must work on every day is your personal development. You must work harder on yourself than you do on your job. I will never forget when I first heard that idea. I thought, that cannot be right. Surely my job is more important. That is where the money comes from. But over time, I came to understand a fundamental truth. Your income rarely exceeds your personal development. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. That is the essence of personal development. And it must happen daily. What does daily personal development look like? It starts with reading. You must be a reader. When I tell people they should read for at least 30 minutes every day, some of them look at me like I have suggested they climb Mount Everest. I do not have time to read, they say. Yet these same people often watch television for hours each night. Here is what I know for sure. Leaders are readers. There is no way around it. I am not talking about just reading anything. I am talking about reading books that will expand your thinking, challenge your assumptions, and give you new ideas. When I was broke, one of the first things I did was start a library. My mentor told me a library is not an expense, it is an investment. I took that to heart. To this day, I invest in books. My library has been one of my greatest assets. But reading is just the beginning. You also need to listen to educational audio programs. Use your car as a mobile classroom. The average American spends 500 to 1,000 hours per year in their car. That equals 12 to 25 40-hour weeks. Imagine turning that time into a learning opportunity. I used to listen to the same personal development tapes over and over. People would ask me, Jim, have you not heard that tape before? I would say yes, but I have not heard it enough. Repetition is the mother of skill. The more you listen to the right messages, the more they become part of you. Then there is the matter of seminars and workshops. You should attend at least 4 major educational events each year. I know they cost money. I know they take time. But if you are serious about your future, you will find a way. I remember a young couple who told me they could not afford to attend my seminar. It cost $495, 0 cents at the time. I asked them, can you afford to miss it? 6 months later, that same couple was still living paycheck to paycheck, still stuck in the same rut. The cost of education is always less than the cost of ignorance. Personal development also means developing new skills. What new abilities have you acquired in the past year? What languages are you learning? What technical skills are you mastering? In this rapidly changing world, the person who stops learning, some people say, well, Jim, I'm out of school now. And I say, that is too bad. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. School might be over, but your education should never end. Here is another aspect of personal development. Seek out mentors. Find people who have achieved what you want to achieve and learn from them. Ask questions. Take notes. Apply what you learn. I was fortunate to have a mentor early in my life who changed everything for me. He did not give me money. He gave me something far more valuable. He gave me guidance. He gave me wisdom. He showed me a better way to live and work. So the first thing you must work on every day is your personal development. Read good books. Listen to educational programs. Attend seminars. Learn new skills. Find mentors. Commit to lifelong learning. The second thing you must work on every day is your health and energy. The second thing you must work on every day is your health and energy. This might seem obvious, but you would be amazed how many people neglect this fundamental area of life. Here is a truth I learned the hard way. All the success in the world means nothing if you do not have the health to enjoy it. I have known too many wealthy people who would gladly trade all their money for a healthy body. Do not make that mistake. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through life. Take care of it every single day. Not just when you feel like it, not just when it is convenient. Every day. What does this mean in practical terms? It means watching what you eat. It means regular exercise. It means getting enough sleep. It means managing stress. Simple things, really. But they make all the difference. I'm not suggesting you need to become a fitness fanatic or follow some extreme diet. I am talking about reasonable, sustainable habits that you can maintain for a lifetime. Here is something else I have noticed. There is a direct connection between physical energy and achievement. When your energy is low, everything is harder. Problems seem bigger. Opportunities seem smaller. Your thinking becomes clouded. But when your energy is high, you can take on the world. You think more clearly. You respond better to challenges. You see opportunities where others see obstacles. I remember a time in my life when I was working incredibly hard, but not taking care of my health. I was exhausted all the time. My productivity suffered. My relationships suffered. My income suffered. Everything suffered. Then I made a commitment to prioritize my health. I started exercising regularly. I improved my diet. I got more sleep. And you know what happened? Everything else in my life got better too. My productivity increased. My mood improved. My income went up. That is when I realized that health is not just about living longer. It is about living better right now. It is about having the energy to pursue your dreams and goals with enthusiasm. Some people say they do not have time to exercise or prepare healthy meals, but the truth is, you do not have time not to. The time you invest in your health pays enormous dividends in every other area of your life. Think about it this way. If you are sick or tired all the time, how effective can you really be? How much can you really accomplish? Not much. So make your health a non-negotiable priority. Schedule your exercise just like you would schedule an important business meeting. Plan your meals. Get to bed at a reasonable hour. These simple disciplines, practiced day after day, will give you the energy you need to create an extraordinary life. Remember, you do not need to make dramatic changes all at once. Small improvements consistently applied lead to remarkable results over time. Just a little bit better each day. That is the key. The third thing you must work on every day is your relationships. The third thing you must work on every day is your relationships. Success without strong relationships is a hollow victory indeed. I learned something years ago that changed my perspective. It is not the amount of money you make that determines the quality of your life. It is the quality of your relationships. Think about it. What good is financial success if you have no one to share it with? What good is achievement if there is no one to celebrate with you? What good is anything if your relationships are in shambles? So how do you build strong relationships? By investing in them every single day. Not just when it is convenient. Not just when there is a problem to solve. Every day. Start with your family. These are the people who matter most. Yet too often, they get our leftover time and energy. We give our best to our work, to strangers, to customers, and then come home exhausted with nothing left to give. That is backwards. Your family deserves your best, not your leftovers. Make time for them every day. Not just physical presence, but emotional presence too. Listen to them. Talk with them. Share experiences with them. I know a very successful businessman who lost his family because he was too busy making money to nurture his relationships. By the time he realized his mistake, it was too late. The damage was done. Do not let that happen to you. Beyond family, there are friends, colleagues, neighbors, and community. These relationships also need attention and care. One of the most important relationship skills is communication. Clear, honest, respectful communication solves most problems before they even begin. Yet many people never learn this vital skill. Another critical element is forgiveness. In any relationship, there will be hurt feelings and disappointments. That is inevitable. The question is not whether conflicts will arise, but how you will handle them when they do. Forgiveness is not about excusing bad behavior. It is about freeing yourself from the burden of resentment. It is about creating space for healing and growth. I have seen marriages destroyed because one or both partners could not forgive. I have seen business partnerships dissolve for the same reason. I have seen families torn apart because someone could not let go of an old hurt. Do not let that be your story. Practice forgiveness daily, not just for the big things, but for the small irritations too. It will transform your relationships. Another aspect of relationship building is appreciation. Let the people in your life know that you value them. Do not take them for granted. Express gratitude for what they bring to your life. I know a man who writes a short note of appreciation to someone every day. Just a few sentences to say thank you, to acknowledge something they did, to express how they have impacted his life. This simple practice has enriched his relationships beyond measure. You could do the same. It only takes a few minutes, but the impact can last a lifetime. Remember, relationships are like bank accounts. You cannot just make withdrawals. You have to make deposits too. Daily deposits of time, attention, appreciation, and love. So the third thing you must work on every day is your relationships. Nurture them, invest in them, protect them, because in the end, they are what matter most. The fourth thing you must work on every day is your productivity and time management. The fourth thing you must work on every day is your productivity and time management. How you spend your time determines your results more than any other factor. Time is our most precious resource. We all have the same amount. No one gets more than 24 hours in a day. The difference between achievement and mediocrity often comes down to how those hours are used. I learned a valuable lesson early in my career. Time management is not about managing time. It is about managing yourself. It is about making conscious choices about what deserves your attention and what does not. The first key to productivity is clarity. You must be absolutely clear about what you are trying to accomplish. Vague goals produce vague results. Specific goals produce specific results. Take some time each morning to get clear about your priorities for the day. Not just activities, but results. What outcomes are you seeking? What will move your life forward in a meaningful way? The second key is focus. Once you know what matters most, you must give it your full attention. Multitasking is a myth. The human brain is not designed to focus on multiple things simultaneously. When you try to do so, you end up doing everything poorly. Instead, work in focused blocks of time. Give one task your complete attention before moving on to the next. You will be amazed at how much more you accomplish. The third key is elimination. This might be the most important of all. Most people try to do too many things. They say yes to everything. They spread themselves too thin. And as a result, they make very little progress on what truly matters. Learn to say no. Eliminate the non-essential. Cut out the activities that do not contribute to your most important goals. This takes courage, but it is necessary. I often ask my students this question: what are you doing now that does not need to be done at all? Think about that. Many of the tasks that fill our days add no real value to our lives. They are just habits or obligations we have accepted without thinking. The fourth key is leverage. Look for ways to multiply your efforts. Use technology, delegate, systematize, find tools and resources that allow you to produce more with less effort. One of the best forms of leverage is other people. No one succeeds alone. Learn to work with and through others. Build a team, even if it is just a part-time assistant to handle routine tasks. The fifth key is rhythm. Establish daily routines that support your productivity. Go to bed at the same time. Wake up at the same time. Block out specific hours for your most important work. Create habits that put success on autopilot. I have a morning routine that I have followed for decades. It prepares me mentally, physically, and emotionally for a productive day. Without this routine, I would waste hours just trying to get going. Remember, time is the one resource you cannot get more of. Once a day is gone, it is gone forever. That is why you must work on your productivity every single day. It is too important to leave to chance. So ask yourself, am I using my time wisely? Am I focusing on what matters most? Am I eliminating the non-essential? Am I leveraging my efforts? Have I established productive routines? Your answers to these questions will largely determine your results in life. The fifth thing you must work on every day is your attitude and mindset. The fifth thing you must work on every day is your attitude and mindset. This might be the most important area of all because it influences everything else. Your attitude determines your approach to life. It shapes how you interpret events, how you respond to challenges, how you interact with others. In a very real sense, your attitude creates your reality. I learned something profound years ago. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. You cannot always control your circumstances, but you can always control your response. That means your attitude is a choice. Not just a one-time choice, but a moment-by-moment choice that you make throughout the day. And it is a choice you must make consciously, or else circumstances and other people will make it for you. So how do you develop and maintain a positive, productive attitude? It starts with awareness. Notice your thoughts. Pay attention to your emotional state. Become conscious of the story you are telling yourself about your life. Most people live on autopilot. They react to situations without thinking. They let their emotions drive their behavior. They never stop to question the thoughts running through their mind. But successful people are different. They monitor their mental state. They catch negative thoughts before they spiral out of control. They choose their perspective deliberately. A key part of attitude management is gratitude. It is impossible to be both grateful and angry at the same time. It is impossible to be both grateful and fearful. Gratitude displaces negative emotions and creates space for positive ones. That is why I recommend starting each day with gratitude. Before you do anything else, identify 3 things you are thankful for. They can be big things or small things. The important thing is to feel the gratitude, not just think about it. Another aspect of mindset is how you talk to yourself. Your self-talk shapes your beliefs, which shape your actions, which shape your results. Be careful what you say to yourself, because you are always listening. Replace phrases like "I cannot" with "I choose not to." Replace "I have to" with "I get to." Replace "I am afraid" with "I am prepared." These simple shifts in language create profound shifts in attitude. Also pay attention to your expectations. What you expect tends to be realized. If you expect problems, you will find them. If you expect opportunities, you will find those instead. I am not talking about magical thinking here. I am talking about perception. Your brain is constantly filtering information, deciding what to notice and what to ignore. Your expectations tell your brain what to look for. Another crucial element of mindset is responsibility. Taking 100% responsibility for your life is both terrifying and liberating. Terrifying because there is no one else to blame. Liberating because it puts you in control. Victims think life happens to them. Leaders know life happens through them. The difference is mindset. I know people who have every advantage in life, yet they are miserable because they have a victim mentality. And I know people who have faced incredible hardship, yet they are happy and successful because they take responsibility for their lives. Which would you rather be? Finally, there's the matter of perspective. The ability to step back and see the bigger picture, to distinguish between minor setbacks and major problems, to focus on solutions rather than complaints. Successful people are not immune to difficulties. They just respond to them differently. They ask better questions. Instead of "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of "Who is to blame?" they ask, "What can I do to make things better?" So the 5th thing you must work on every day is your attitude and mindset. Monitor your thoughts. Practice gratitude. Watch yourself talk. Expect the best. Take responsibility. Maintain perspective. Do these things daily, and you will develop an attitude that attracts success rather than repels it. Let me summarize the 5 things you must work on every day. First, personal development. Read, listen, learn, grow. Become more valuable. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Second, health and energy. Take care of your body. Exercise regularly. Eat well. Get enough rest. Manage stress. Third, relationships. Invest in the people who matter. Communicate clearly. Practice forgiveness. Show appreciation. Fourth, productivity and time. Be clear about what matters most. Focus on one thing at a time. Eliminate the non-essential. Leverage your efforts. Establish productive routines. Fifth, attitude and mindset. Choose a positive perspective, practice gratitude, watch your self-talk, expect the best, take responsibility, see the bigger picture. These 5 areas touch every aspect of life. Neglect any one of them, and you create imbalance. Attend to all of them, and you create the foundation for an extraordinary life. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds like a lot of work, and you are right. It is. But consider the alternative. Consider the cost of not doing these things. What happens if you neglect your personal development? You stagnate. Your income plateaus. Your opportunities diminish. What happens if you neglect your health? Your energy declines. Your productivity suffers. Your quality of life deteriorates. What happens if you neglect your relationships? You end up successful but alone. You achieve your goals, but have no one to celebrate with. What happens if you neglect your productivity? You waste precious time, you miss opportunities, you fail to reach your potential. What happens if you neglect your attitude? You become reactive rather than proactive. You see problems rather than possibilities. You settle for less than you deserve. The price of neglect is simply too high to pay. The 5 daily disciplines are not optional if you want an extraordinary life. They are essential. But here is the good news. These disciplines compound over time. Small, consistent actions lead to massive results. Just like saving money, the magic is in the compounding. Imagine becoming just a little bit better each day in each of these 5 areas. Not dramatically better, just slightly better, 1% better. After a year, you would be 37 times better, not 365% better. That is the power of compounding. So my challenge to you is this. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Pick one small action in each of the 5 areas and do it today. Read for 15 minutes. Take a walk. Call a friend. Block out 1 hour for your most important task. Write down 3 things you are grateful for. These actions might seem small, but they are the seeds of transformation. Plant them today, nurture them daily, and watch what happens over time. Remember what I said at the beginning. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. The 5 disciplines I have shared with you today are the foundation of an extraordinary life. The choice is yours. Will you practice them? Will you pay the price for success? I hope you will, because the rewards are beyond measure. Thank you for your time and attention. Now go out there and make something happen.